We're discussing the mind today. The mind, the mind. She's lost her mind. She's losing her mind. I hear she's losing her mind. Mind your business. Oh, the mind. Is the mind and the brain the same? That's a question we have to think about. No, the brain is housed in the skull. It's an organ. The mind, we cannot see the mind. But yet the mind is so powerful that I'll tell you how strong our minds are, and we don't realize how strong our minds are. A few weeks back, I was thinking about a supervisor I worked with. She went out of my mind. She came back into my mind. It was an invasive thought. Keeps coming into my mind. And I started asking around. I said, did you see such and such? How is she doing? No, I haven't seen her. Was it a Saturday? I went into a shopping center. I'm going this way, and a woman and a young man is coming up the escalator this way to make a tea. I looked at her. She looked at me. She said, you wouldn't believe. And I said, I've been thinking about you for the past 2 weeks. And she said, I picked up your card, your YouTube card, and I was watching you. And I can't believe I'm seeing you. This was not too long ago. And this is how powerful our minds are. Is that a coincidence? No. It's the meeting of the minds. I'm thinking about her. She's thinking about me. And this woman, I'm telling you, it was a pleasure to work with her. It was a pleasure to have worked with her. And we spoke, and she was telling me, everything is okay, and we talked, and I left. And I thought to myself, how powerful is our mind? How powerful is our mind? What we train our mind to think is where our mind will lead us. And I've known many of us have said, oh, I thought about you just recently. Oh, she passed. Oh my goodness. I was just thinking about her. It's our mind. So we understand that we can think, we can feel, and we can make choices. And all three, it's the mind. It's not the brain. It's the mind. I worked with a social worker who once said, if you think that you're going to call out sick tomorrow, you start feeling sick in the night, she said. And then you spend all day doing nothing because your mind already programmed that you're sick. It sounds funny? No, it's not funny. It's real. So today we want to talk about how we can use that mind that we have. How can we use that mind? And we can. But we have to help what we think. So let's say you want to go to school. You want to go back to school. You're probably 40 years old. You want to go back to school. I want to go to school. I want to study such and such and such. I think I can do it. You don't say you think. You say, I know I can do it. Because your mind, you're working your mind. You see, we are our mind. We are our minds. And we don't understand how powerful we are because we don't train ourselves to think that way. So when we say, I want to go back to school, I want to study XYZ, what are we going to do? We sit down? No. We have the internet. We can start browsing. What school do I want to? We think about our money. How can I finance this? We look at the resources that we have out there and we start working, and our mind is strengthened so we can do it. And this is what I meant when I say we have to think positive. We have to think that we are going to make things happen despite whatever the obstacles are. The mind, us, we are the mind. We are going to do it. We are going to make it happen. Now, I cannot say that I made it happen, that I saw this woman, and I cannot say she made it happen, that she saw me. But the two minds came together. We came together. And this is why I am big on together we can make a difference. Together we can. And this is what we have to learn to do, to put our minds together and make it happen. And we can make it happen. So, this is not about, oh, I wanted to do this, but I have to do this. No, I have to do this. I keep saying I have to. No. And I will tell you what's very important. Who we affiliate ourselves with. Who do you affiliate yourselves with? Do you have people who can encourage you? Do you have people who drill it in you and say, so when are you going to do it? You say you're going to do it. So when are you going to do it? And I'm telling you, and this goes back to my last video, do not worry and accept change. Because when you do that, when you embrace change, remember I said there is someone there who will be there to open the way for you. So when you accept change, you lift yourself from that chair, you lift yourself from that bed, and you said, I'm going to do it. And you head on down to any school, the nearest school, the one that probably will give you some financial aid. And you say, I want to do this, and we have this. You can check, this is the number you can call. But you have to help yourself in the process. We have to help the mind. The mind is us, but we also have to help the mind. We cannot think and sit down. We have to think and move. And let's work our minds. The more we do, the more we accomplish. If we do nothing, we accomplish nothing. If we sit down, what's going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. So we have to think about how we can make the mind work for us positively. And I know every one of us can sit down and think about how our mind works. Yeah. What Emily is saying is right. Because, I remember such and such. I was thinking about this person. And guess what happened? I ran into the person. The mind, the meeting of the mind, the power of the mind. I cannot emphasize enough how powerful our mind is. So I want to encourage you today. Instead of thinking about all these negative things, all these negative, what people do me, what my mother did me, what my father did me, what my brother did me, what my sister did me, forget it. Nonsense. Use that mind to think about positive events, things that you can make happen. The mind. Start today. Start thinking about the mind, what we can do with the mind. The mind. And, I always think about the mind, how powerful. This mind that we cannot see. We can see the brain. We can see the brain. We can see different parts of the brain. We can learn about the brain, what functions the brain hold. We cannot see the mind, but we know the mind think, thoughts, feel, emotion, choose, choices. And if we learn how to work with our minds and understand how our minds work for us, we can have a successful life in many different ways. So I want to leave this message with you today. For those of you who are watching, let's think about the mind and how the mind can work positively for us, and it will. Until next time, remember, subscribe, follow, share, leave your comments. Let me know what you think about the mind. Let me know your thoughts about the mind and how the mind has worked for you. Each individual, how it's worked for you positively. And you say it didn't work for you positively because you say, if I had listened to my mind. You see, we have to learn to listen to our mind, and we will have a successful life. But let's do it together. Let's have someone who we can talk to, who's going to hold our hands and say, I'm bringing you here. You have to go the way. I'm not going to take you all the way. You know that saying, you can bring the horse to the water, but you cannot make the horse drink the water. So we cannot expect people to give us everything that's going to happen for us favorably. We have to help it along the way. It was a pleasure bringing this message to you. Until next time, Emily at TWC MAD, together we can make a difference.